Okay, so we're live. Welcome everyone to the Clutch Kick.
Well, the comments are already good.
No one's gonna read them anyway.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, welcome. I am one of your hosts, EG, and tonight we have Greg.
Wherever I am
Yeah,
in relation to you.
yeah, it could be anywhere.
Yeah, live and late. Well, we weren't really that late. We were talking shit off air, so
Yeah.
um, yeah. But just not for live action television just yet.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess last week we were off. EG had man flu and was trying to see if he'd actually get his shit together, actually come drifting on the weekend.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
Sadly, he managed to survive. So
Yep. Take up some other person's track time. Actually, we finished early. I was so
well, we'll talk about that after. But typical
devastated.
Typical EG style. Um, so in the week that we missed, there wasn't a crazy amount going on, but last round of Drift Games and last round of Drift Masters European Championship was on. Jack Shanahan ended up winning the Drift Game series. It still sounds like it's up in the air whether or not there's going to be a Irish series next year or what's going to happen with that stuff. But yeah, kudos to Jack for taking out that championship. A massive year for the family. I know coming into this year they were pretty stressed about the new cars and money and all that to make everything happen, but big year for them. And then last round of European Drift Masters and James Dean, he's your champion. Jack Shanahan second and Dwayne McKeever's third. So Ireland 1, 2, 3 in Europe. So yeah,
Rigged.
pretty. No, I don't think so. It really came down to
No.
consistency over the
No,
season.
it seems to be
Uh,
the theme that everything's scripted and
well, I think James only ended up with one win over that season. So and I think one other podium. Jack, I think, was a win and a podium as well. So yeah, ended up fairly tight up the top. I think Dwayne had the two wins, but then ended up with some fairly poor results in some other rounds. So uh, I think that's what ended up being what undid Dwayne for that season after him, stomping the first two rounds. But it was good to see somebody like Martin Richards up the championship in fifth. One of the Driftworks guys who's been around forever. But
he was in the
uh,
8-6 before.
no, that's
No,
I
different
can't even
guy.
think of his name. This is a guy who's always in the 32. But yeah, it's sad to see that season over. It also means that FD's coming to an end as well. So we're about to be in Northern Hemisphere winters, so everything internationally will go fairly quiet. Uh, and yeah, I guess down here we've just got World Time Attack in a couple of weeks and same weekend as FD final. So I think this weekend is
FD Japan.
last round of FD Japan. I
Yeah,
believe
it
it.
is the last round. Yep.
So yeah, it's everything's sort of tapering to a close. So uh, it'll be quiet off season soon, I guess.
Internationally, but locally, I think things are starting to get kicked off again.
Yeah, definitely. Things starting to kick off locally. Competition this weekend that you're involved with, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we can say something about it now. We've sort of been
Yep.
semi-quiet about it, but
I think
uh,
yeah, some decisions have been set. So
you want to run us through a little bit?
yep. So this weekend I'll be helping the judge Flash's event, Spawn the Challenge up in Sydney. Um, so previously I was just going to help as like a mentor or a guide, but
A
that's
shit kicker?
yeah, that's just changed. I think I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, so I said, yeah, I'm happy to help out. So I'll be going up there. I was meant to be tying up some guys, or a guy, but his car blew up on the weekend at the same event we were at.
Oh, I think I watched his vlog.
Oh, you
Was
did
he the
watch it?
was
Yeah.
he the grey one? Well, I just had a look on. I just googled the
Skip
track
through it.
um on YouTube just to see if any videos had come up from the weekend, and his came up from it. So
Yeah.
tell him to get out of second gear.
And to work on his steering. Yeah. That's right. I
Wasn't
think
was
that's his style and that's his crew style just by watching what he's doing, and he's usually hanging out with those guys that munge you the straight down Wakefield.
straight off the line and sideways,
Yeah.
sideways, sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But looks hectic, mate. Um, so I guess you'll give us a bit more deets on that next week. I think they're doing as a random draw for pools or something, and I think that's happening tomorrow night. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to be shared, but I think they're doing a live stream somewhere. So
Yeah. I haven't really kept up with her. I've just been busy with other things. So I'm just doing a big catch up because there's been a lot of discussion with those guys without me because my role was different before.
yeah, because hard to get hold of, mate.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then because Luke's probably been in and then left already, but we better bring it up. Entries for Mount Gambier and
I
Tassie are
think he's
still
watching. I think he's
still
watching.
watching. I just can't
Yeah.
see him on the list. Uh, Mount Gambier entries are open, so is Tassie. Get your entries in for that. Included. I should probably do my entry. I have had accommodation for a couple of months, but haven't done my entry. But the 350 still runs, so good to
Yeah, I
go.
think you can kill that car. The way you were driving on the weekend, that car won't die now.
Why? Because I
You
didn't
had
kill
your
it on the weekend.
No, you had your foot buried the whole time, kicking the
Yeah,
shit out of it. Didn't seem to break
yeah,
down at all.
yeah. It's good. Just that throttle issue. I don't know if I have to contact Link and find out why it does it. But if I'm flat to the floor for more than like 5 seconds, it kills my pedal.
Oh really?
Yeah, like if I don't pedal it a little bit, it dies. If I stay buried for too long, yeah, it sucks. And I did it in front of Shane.
Oh okay. Did you make contact?
Nah. But I was in front of him, and I couldn't keep up with him. But yeah, if I tried to stay buried over the hill, and I forgot to pedal it, and yeah, it stopped.
Okay.
So
Man, you're doing lots of laps.
yeah, I did a
Jealous.
lot of laps. Uh,
Did you go for
but I
rim
think
tires?
4.
Okay.
And it was just because it was courting the inside edge because I've got like hectic cambers. So I've ordered arms today. So hopefully I'll do that over the weekend, uh, have it ready for Mount Gambier with a little less camber.
Yep.
I think if I had camber arms and tow arms in it, as well as some water squirters, I could probably do the whole day on a surface like that on probably half a pair. I swear they fell apart because they just got so goddamn hot. I would imagine you were sort of the same. Like the surface was so smooth.
Mine didn't fall apart at all, but I was using tires. They were new, but I don't know. Like I've never used them before.
Yeah, I was using really shitty ones. So
And I still have my overheating issue after the morning session. So I did
yeah,
three
fuck
laps and then I had to like stop for 5 minutes. Remember when I was just like stopped right near the start line? I was just waiting.
yeah,
Yeah, that's me just cooling down.
absolute flop, mate.
Yeah.
I only got one run with you, and I
Really?
fucked it up. Yeah, I fucked it up in front of you, and then let you overtake me, and then I doored you the rest of the track, and then
You
you didn't realize that
adored me.
I was pretty fucking close, and even you
Really?
saw yeah, and then you got that picture, and you're like, oh, I didn't actually realize you were there.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were there.
So
Which means I think that it's just the way that the person took the photo. It looks close, but you want
no, it's because my car doesn't make any
it.
noise.
Yeah, but if you're close, then I'd be able to see you. Peripheral vision.
Yeah, but you were sick and man fluing, so Uh, but I guess yeah, we figured tonight we'd sort of talk through a little bit about the stuff that's gone on with these guys getting this track, and then
Yeah,
yeah, just an overall review of the actual facility itself, because you were there in the original days when IDA got a few days there,
yep,
and one of your teammates decided that he'd put his car on its roof in that little drainage area in the middle of the track, and it was a bit of a goat track back then. Uh,
yeah. So I don't think that's the actual original, but it was like the original when we started drifting on it. I think there was
yeah,
something there before that. So I don't know if it's right to say it's the original, but yeah, it's the track that was there
and
about
what
a
year
decade
was?
ago.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's probably been almost 10 years
I
or
think it's
more.
2008, maybe.
Yeah, and that I don't know. Those days shut down fairly quickly with IDA. Uh, but
Yeah,
then
well, it wasn't like everyone said it was because of the flip.
I don't think it was.
It was just a noise. So
Yeah, and
um,
then not long after that, Driving Sport had tried to do some days with it. I think similar sort of deal. I think the track had changed hands once already by that stage. And then earlier this year, Driving Sport went in again and tried to make it all happen, but they struggled with noise. But I think uh, there was some just some issues with how it was done. But the Revo guys had dealt with getting the drifting back at Wakefield, and I think they had some, a little bit better insight on how to work around Goulburn Council, because it's they're both tracks are in Goulburn, the Greater Goulburn
yep,
Council area, so they're under the same rules, under the same council with prying eyes and all that. So the fact that the Rev guys had dealt with it before was probably the best option for the facility. Also brings some credibility to them coming in and sort of saying their piece with trying to get things to happen there. Uh, in the last, I think it's been, don't quote me on this, but I think about 3 years since this new family bought the track. The track, after when it was originally done, was just laid on the road base, laid basically straight on top of the dirt. And when they bought it, they thought the surface was going to be okay, but the whole thing had actually started to slide down the embankments and things like that. So that's why it's all concrete edged and all been done properly. But then I got told over the weekend that there's a chance that it's going to be resurfaced again because
really,
yeah, the surface
Jesus.
wasn't done in under during the right temperature and right time of the year, and it got too cold too quickly or something, and that's why there were a few patches on track and things like that. So the owners are looking at doing another resurfacing. I hope that that's not a sign that we're going to be told to piss off.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, surface wise and facility wise, yeah, huge money's been spent on it. Uh, I know the pit area is also massive compared to when you
Oh
guys have been
yeah,
down there
it's
last.
huge. It's probably like oh, maybe 5, 6 times the size of it what it used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is massive. Like when people are saying they're gonna get 40, 50 cars there, like nah, you're not gonna fit that many cars there. Like we struggled. I think it was 30 back in the day, and that was like people parking in the dirt
yeah,
on the entrance and things like that. It was like way too small of a facility for like a big event. But
yeah,
now it's massive. Like you that open area as well. Like you had all the carports around the outside, as well as down towards the back. You had trailer parking. You had the center section, which was asphalt as well. Oh, I think
yeah,
asphalt and bitumen. No, and then you've got like the parking dirt area as well, and then the spectator area heaps better. Like before, you just walk in between the trees, and there might be a bit of area cleared out, but by
like an animal
chance.
track style walkway.
Yeah, no, I think this is like where the tractor parked or like an access area.
Yeah,
But no, they're like it's all like semi-sealed sort of walking area, which is cool. And then the view from the real far corner was. Did you actually get out there?
No, I was originally going to go and drive around there
Yeah.
just before lunch, but then the incident happened, so I didn't bother going around.
Yeah. Real cool view. You can see pretty much every corner except for the last two.
So the sort of yeah, the bowl, the bowl
Yeah,
into the
into the bowl. Yeah, but you can see like on the back sort of corner, it looked really cool. Like there's just tracks that's crossing over in front of you, so constantly cars like visible all around the track, which is cool. Uh, the size of that area not that big, so
yeah.
if you just had spectators there, it was fine. But cars, you probably have to tell them to park somewhere else.
Yeah, I guess once, being a fairly small event and only 40 odd cars, I think was roughly the number. Uh, yeah, I'm sure they weren't too worried about people being around there. But if when things happen again, I'm sure there might have to be looked at to tell people not to park up there, just so more space for spectators. Uh, yeah, overall, what I was super surprised about was the introduction from management, owners, and uh, yeah, I guess the track Nazi, as he called himself. Uh, Super chill, super excited about.
Yep.
Nick had said that they were super nervous about the day, worried about noise and having to tell us sort of piss off early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised how keen they were for the day. And then the lady who I'm pretty sure was manager for on site for the day was up on what we were
Yeah.
using
On
as
the
our first
bowl.
corner
Yeah.
for pretty much the whole morning taking photos.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and she didn't leave that post. Like she just stood there
Yep.
and
Took
took
photos
photos
and
all
videos.
morning,
Yeah.
which was very very cool
So
because well, yeah, I
yeah.
think that's what we were most worried about was the fact that management wouldn't be all that keen and all the typical stuff that the drifting tends to face at these facilities and the fact that the managers were sitting up there taking photos. They've been absolutely smashing it on their social medias. There's an aerial shot from the drone that's been put up today of drifting taking place all over the track, and yeah, just yeah, definitely excited that management and ownership is happy at this stage. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was good the way that the Revolution guys actually ran it. So they had selected, I guess, a pretty good group of people. So they had a
well,
generally good
and
attitude.
and I guess yeah, this is the thing to remember because I've had a few messages from people being like, "Oh, how do I get invited to these exclusive Marulan events?" And I said, "Look, it wasn't the ongoing events aren't going to be exclusive, and it wasn't anything to do with how skilled a driver was or you know how how deep their throat is and how good their knee pads are. It was sort of a bit of a mixed group of guys who have done a lot of Revolution days, and the Revolution guys sort of throwing it back as a favor, being like, you guys have supported heaps of our events and come to, and driven lots of our events. So we're going to invite you to come and do this because we've you know, we haven't had problem with your attitude at these events. And then a few of the other guys were, guys that are friends with them. So,
Yeah.
and that sort of is what made up the group. I don't think there was anybody there that was selected because they were insta famous or uh, best friends with them or the best drivers in New South Wales or in Australia. It was purely just guys who have been driving heaps of Revolution days, and I
Yeah.
think it was just a way of the Revolution guys being like, okay, we're secure and feel safe with these guys coming because we know what they're like, we know what their attitude's like, and thank you for supporting our days. So yeah, don't be too worried about this exclusive Marulan stuff because now it's once the green lights, with a go ahead with more events, I'm pretty sure they're going to be open public events. So
Yep. Yeah, and that's the goal anyway. So as long as we can maintain this sort of, well, I don't know, way that we drive there, and people sort of
Look,
respect it,
yeah,
then we'll keep having days there.
yeah, and look, there was some dirt dropping going on and stuff like that, but because the track's got concrete edges the whole way around, I don't think management's too worried about that, and I don't even think the circuit guys would be. Well, look, it's more of a driver training facility, really. Um, I don't think even the circuit guys would be too worried because they're not dropping on the other side of the concrete. Uh, so I think track edges, holes, stuff like that, not really a drama. I think the biggest issues as the numbers increase, because I'm sure the next event will be higher entry numbers, is trying to keep facilities clean and tidy and just shit not being left behind. Similar dramas to what started all the shit back in the day with Eastern Creek and things like that. So oil and tires and body kits being left in the pits and shit like that. So I'm sure you probably are on a similar page to me with that.
Yep. Yeah. So sorry.
Where your dog's being a nutcase.
Yeah, she's just barreling in. That's all. Anyway, sorry. Yes, it's as long as people respect the track, then
The facility.
yeah, the facilities. Sorry, that's correct. Yeah, then things should continue forward. But I think as soon as there's some negative things, and it's easy enough for them to just go no more drifting, and that's it. And then we lose. No, they might lose a little bit, but I think a lot of people know about that facility, and it's good. Like it was good before, but now it's even better. Like
Yeah,
it's yeah, I liked it before, and I like it even more
yeah. The layout that we were running was pretty much the same as what you guys had driven previously, right? Other than part of
now. Yeah, where
the
where
the
it
the,
had
the main
changed.
the main few corners were the same, right? But they just sort of
Yeah,
elevation had changed a little bit.
where the track where the existing track um is the same.
Yeah.
But we used to drive from the top hairpin.
So you wouldn't do the actual hairpin itself, right?
Yeah. Um.
Oh no no
No,
no I know
no,
no no
you
I know what you're
you
talking about. Yeah, back in the day you did what is
yeah. So after
traditional
the
turn
straight,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
after the
the left
straight,
and
yeah, on the right. I think you couldn't enter into it. I can't actually remember the exact rules, but
yeah
I don't remember many people entering into it. But they definitely did push out of it and then try and link into the rest of the course. And that section's changed. So now
yeah
instead of being after the right hander,
a left
before used to
hander.
be a left, now it's another right and a
Yeah,
left, and
and we weren't doing that section anyway. But then
yeah.
the last time that driving sport ran it, they were running from after the last corner, running backwards, and then sort of running the uphill section, but without the left-hander that claimed the car on in that morning session. Was the last time that when driving
Oh
sports ran
really?
they ran uphill. Yeah,
Okay.
I think when they tested it just before ownership change a couple of years ago,
Yep.
they did that one-off event, and then it sort of didn't
Yeah.
happen again.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so got to run it both ways. I
Yeah.
think
That was
EJ and
cool.
I both ended up preferring the morning running up the hill.
Yeah, that was really weird because previously I liked the downhill better, and then it's a little bit annoying, but I actually like the uphill. I think maybe it's because I didn't actually get the downhill, and that's why I didn't like it as much.
Were you drifting the left-hander at the very start of the uphill? Like, if you got enough speed coming down the hill into the corners that we weren't through the cold zone, were you entering past the start line, or were you waiting and sort of cruising through the start line and then entering, doing the
Um,
downhill section?
yeah,
So,
I slowed down for the start line.
did you?
Yeah, I didn't
You didn't drift the
full speed.
left-hander?
Um, not the way. Uh, no, it is Scando. That's probably the closest.
Oh, up into the right-hander.
No, into the left. So like coming up around the bowl. You're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
But you're talking, no, I'm talking, so the downhill layout as you came through
Yeah.
the start
Oh,
line.
downhill. Sorry.
As you
Yeah.
come through the start line, were you entering through the start line?
No, after a start line, I'd drive through there, but
But then you were still drifting left-hander or not drifting that first left-hander?
uh,
Pussy.
I just let the car step out a little bit and then
Pussy.
extend it. So because it just step out, so it wasn't. I only brought 2 pairs of tires though when it was only driving.
Pussy. That
What's
was the
that?
fastest part of the track. I think my fastest through there was around 90k an hour.
I was in third. He just
Yeah, yeah,
steps
I
out
was in.
naturally.
Yeah, yeah, I was in third, and I was about 90k an hour, and then I finally started hitting the right line to not have to reclutch it 45 times to get up the hill in third.
What do you mean?
Because I was just trying to hold third for as long as possible to go up the hill, and normally the car would bog down.
Oh no, I just
So
kept my foot flat. It just stepped out, and
I
then you
was
flick.
flat too,
Yeah, you
but
flick the other way, and that's it.
that's where you destroyed Paul's car at the top of that hill.
Yeah, that was annoying. That was such a good run too, up until that point.
Good
I'd
run. It's
stolen.
this was the second corner of that layout.
I know. It's just like I had, you know, when you go like, yes, this is a good start.
You're
Like
full of shit,
everything
mate.
sort of lined up, and then I just went to. I was like, nah, won't go in a second.
Nah, you're full of
Clutched
shit.
it, nah, wouldn't go in. Had to stop. And when I
Yeah,
stopped,
that's
yeah, that's
that's
when
sort of
broke
what I
it.
did in front of you was Mr. Gear, but yeah, you're full of shit. Um, but yeah, I agree. I thought the uphill was a nicer direction, but again, I think maybe I just got
Yeah.
to grips with it a lot faster. Uh,
Yeah, see, I don't know. So I followed a few people. I watched a few, like I watched a bit, and then I followed, and then I ran myself, and then a lot of people were doing different things. Like it wasn't very consistent. Some people were doing the same line that I was, and I thought that was cool, so that's why I did it. Other people were doing like really strange, what I felt like was really slow lines, and yeah, it just didn't kind of flow very nicely. And that's what I felt with your one when I think I watched you. Like it
you
was a
thought
bit
I was
slow.
doing the same as you? I was slow.
No, it was slow.
Which direction? Up or
Uphill.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah, uphill. I was struggling with. I would enter third through the sort of and enter like really early through the dogleg section, um, and then down to second through where it tightened, and then I would sort of hold second through the right hander, occasionally dip up onto that massive concrete wall. There is a tire marked like maybe 60 centimeters up it, and that was me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a
I fucked
Corolla
up.
because I've seen him go out wide a few
Nah, I
times.
fucked up pretty badly and ended up, yeah, with fairly far up there. Uh, and then I didn't have the guts to grab third.
Yeah, me too. Like I'm watching my video back. I'm watching the GoPro footage. I'm like, why aren't you going third? Like it's faster, and you could flick it real hard into the right near the top.
Yeah, my only concern because I suck at downshifts is I was scared that if I went third to kick it in, then I would downshift too slow and crash into that concrete wall that sort of concaves out onto the track over the top of the hill. You know, the
Really?
wall was like curved
Yeah,
out
yeah. It
onto
was
the track.
curved. Yeah, it's curved outwards in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was worried I'd clip that, so I was a
No,
bit
you'll be
scared to come
alright.
in there super hot. But I think next time I do it, I'll probably grab third a whole lot earlier through the little left-hander kink to
Okay,
settle myself before I.
I, I don't think I can make it over in third. I think I can get in on third and
Yeah,
then
that's what I'm
take the
saying. So I
second.
think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think, but because I was holding second for so long, even through the left-handed kink going up the hill,
Hmm.
I think if I had tried to shift third, it would have been like barely shift third, clutch kick, and then back straight to second, which I don't think would have made that much of a difference. Where I should have probably grabbed third earlier, um, if I was going to grab third at all. But then going backwards into that sort of fairly tight left-hander over the hill was a good feeling, especially if you
That
did
was
a good lap.
fun. And you just hang out like before they put the cones out. You try and get close to where the wall starts. Just the two tires
Oh,
just sitting in the end of there.
where the walls pointed the wrong direction.
Yeah, it was fun.
You, you dickhead.
That was like
Um,
an outside clipping point. That was cool.
yeah, I don't think I was skidding that far down the hill at the very end of that run, but yeah, I can understand why they did it, and it was probably thanks to you. But by the
Oh, that
sounds
I
of
went.
things,
No, I think a lot of people are doing that. But I still ran along the cones whenever they were
yeah,
standing.
yeah, I didn't have much choice because I had Shane Beresford pretty much on my ass all day, both directions. So I tried to make sure I ran along those cones just to make sure I didn't shut the door on a chase run. So,
Yeah,
uh, but during the morning, a car rolled. It sort of ended up in
yeah,
the conveyor belt tire wall, just a little bit. He just entered just ever so slightly too late and didn't get back on the power. I think like that's probably the most banked corner I would
yeah.
say, other than Tasmania, other than the bottom hairpin at Tassie. But that this corner's a whole lot longer than that corner. I would say it's probably the most banked corner that you can drift in the country. Or
Uh,
other where you're actually drifting a bowl as opposed to like Calder Park where
yeah,
you're on, it's an incline, but you're not
yeah.
sort of following the line of the corner.
I also wonder about Luddenham as well. I haven't been
Yeah,
on
but
there.
yeah, but four people have skidded that track, so
Yeah,
that you're allowed to skid. Do you enjoy
yeah,
drifting a cambered corner like that? I thought it feels just absolutely sick when you sort of throw it in there. You can throw it in hard. You know that you can use the elevation in the corner to slow the car down, and you sort of just stay pinned, and you don't have to do much steering work, and you just feel like you're sucked into
no.
the seat as opposed to falling out the back of the seat.
I don't think I was going fast enough. I wanted probably like every time I lined up, you had this cone in front of you, and then so you naturally you'd line up at the cones, but then a car would be in front of you before you'd go, and
Did you
then
not
a
drive
gap would
later in the
appear.
morning when? Did you not drive later in
No,
the
I
morning
pulled
when there was
off.
no lines?
Yeah, remember? Oh no, you were on track, so you
No,
wouldn't
I
remember.
was
No,
on
I
track,
because I've only got two pairs of tires. I was trying to conserve them, so I
mate. I
pulled
used
off,
two
and then
pairs all day.
I came back on just before Matt rolled.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's when I was
Shane,
like, yeah.
Shane and I were flying through the
I
first,
know I
like
could see it, and I was just
blowing
waiting
past the.
because I was watching as well because I really wanted to know what other people were doing. Because sometimes I just need something to gauge against. Like I just need to know how other people are driving it. So you just sit there and watch, and then think, oh, because they could be doing something cool that you just haven't figured out. So that's why went down there, had a chat with Bamford, and sort of watched that first
Talk
corner.
with a guy who doesn't even drift. Yeah, that sounds good.
I was just catching up, but I was still watching. So then I was watching and thinking, yeah, okay, so it's flowing now, but it's not really like everyone's still doing something a bit different. Like some are going real wide, other people like trying to stick real close, um or they'd make it like a really big arc.
That's what I was
And
trying to do.
yeah, see that's the one I didn't really like. That seemed the slowest.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's sort of. I think because I was trying to open up room for Shane, I was trying to run as wide as I sort of could.
Uh, yeah, for photos, it probably look good if there's a person taking a particular direction. Um, but this was like extremely wide. Like you were probably like a meter or two away.
Yeah,
These other people were,
like dropping wheels off the edge of the track
man, they were
during the corner.
wide. They were
Yeah,
real
during the
wide.
corner rather than sort of late out of the corner.
Yeah. So I know what I didn't like. I know what I didn't want to do. I know what I liked just watching. So then that's what my goal was I was going to do, what I thought was cool,
Yeah,
and it was generally fast. That's what I thought. It was like the
yeah. Well,
fastest line.
during that corner where they had the two cones on the inside of the corner, you should have been sort of apexing. I feel like you should have been apexing around the second one
Yep.
anyway because it was the tightest part of the corner. and
Yeah.
that sort of set you up nicely for the next section. If you ran too wide past that, then you would have struggled to. Well, I know I struggled if I ran too wide through there to make the next corner without having to grab handbrake
Yeah.
and actually extend the
So
drift.
yeah, so I think that's what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep as wide as possible around that, which is probably like a meter or two away from that point,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
all right. That wasn't too bad. I think a meter's probably a nice spot.
yeah,
But I was just trying to drive fast because
yeah.
I felt. But other people like real far away. They were in
Yeah,
the
also,
spot where I don't think it
I
was
think
it
part of
should
that was
be.
also depending on how late people entered the
Yeah,
like did the entry, because
or
a
how
lot
they
of
did the
people were sort of
entry.
yeah, a lot of people were sort of driving past the dogleg section and then sort of just hitting the hairpin at the end of the dogleg rather than entering and then driving to the hairpin. So,
Yeah,
but that all came down to confidence too. I was surprised how quickly I was stupid enough to start going third, and well, yeah, I think second lap I went from third gear. So, uh,
yeah.
yeah, I think
First time I
even
went to
you.
third, I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna kick, and then I backed out and I put back in second, and then I changed to third. I just need that tiny bit longer. So if I
Yeah, well,
leave that
you would have
5 meter
had pretty
gap,
much you would have pretty much had the whole front straight if you actually drove, mate.
yeah, next time. I ordered a water pump too, by the way, so I'm gonna
You ordered
change
a water
that.
pump.
Yeah.
Oh, for your, I thought you meant like for your tires, not for
No, no, no.
oh, about time, mate.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
but yeah, I think yeah, what we were talking about earlier, there ended up being a car sadly flipped on its roof. It was one of the Revo guys just before lunch. I think at that stage we all thought we were getting sent home, and I think we'd all
yep,
accepted that there was a chance we were going to be told, "Yeah,
that's
boys,
it.
day's
End of
over.
day. Yeah.
See you later. Thanks for coming. That was fun while it lasted for 2.5 hours." But management was cool about it,
Yep.
and yeah, car was cleaned up, and the next half of the day we ran the circuit the other direction. Uh, Look, I honestly I just can't wait to get back there. There's it's such a technical track in so many ways to try and get it to make it flow right that I think you're constantly experimenting with trying to make it what the perfect lap is to make it flow and really not have to touch handbrake or do anything like that.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Yeah. I have a few things I want to try. Like probably in hindsight, I should take a laptop, watch what I'm doing, or get someone to like say, hey, try this out, or get some feedback, and then try a few different things. Because I'm pretty sure I could do a better run next time. Just looking back at my GoPro videos, especially the downhill. I didn't really like the downhill, but that's usually my preference is towards the downhill. But I think thinking about it, it's probably because I didn't get it, and I either wasn't going fast enough or I didn't get the line. There's just something like it just didn't click.
Going downhill, where were you grabbing third?
So I'm gonna say, how we go across the top where that
Yeah,
outside wall is. So after you flick down, try and get on the power and power into third downhill.
after the apex.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was. I think some of the other guys were doing third before the apex, and I started trying to do that, but I felt like I didn't have enough power, too much grip, and just wanted to rocket through that corner on
yeah,
shallow angle. Uh, but then whenever I sort of overcommitted to second gear, then I was sort of pinned in second, then waited for the car to straighten out, then I'd grab third and then reinitiate through the kink. But I think yeah, through the kink and then down the hill is super fun. But I struggled there. I'd done uh, a handful of laps straight after lunch. Car felt okay. Felt like I was doing it okay. Went in, let the tires cool down, then went back out and spun there shit like maybe 4 or 5 laps in a row. So I don't know if there was some slippery shit on the track or what, but um, did you have a period where you're struggling with the left-hander? Because there was a few times for the left-hander where I just felt like the car didn't,
Grip.
yeah, it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I kind of felt that, but I sort of said that was me. Like,
Okay, well that's what I thought too, and I
cause
was like at the point where I'm like, fuck this, I'm gonna go put the car on the trailer because I got the shits now.
no, I just kept winding back, and so the first time I think I spun twice there,
Yeah,
and the first time was like,
was
oh,
that
I just
early, like straight after lunch, or a little bit after that?
no, it wasn't the first. It was like there
Yeah,
was like a period was alright,
yeah,
and I think that was that confidence because I wasn't clicking the third then. As soon as I
yeah,
started clicking the third, I thought, all right, I've got the wrong position, I got the wrong line, and then so then I have to be more cautious. Um, and then, but I could feel like sometimes I'm just like on lock, and I'm like, come back, like, and then I would feel it. Okay, it's good, but like I'd already washed out so much,
yeah.
and then I kept going. But just yeah, it did feel like um mid afternoon. I couldn't. It was so easy to spin there. Like it was. I spun twice. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I went
And
out into that
yeah,
gravelly shit a lot of times too.
yeah,
Well, that's all right. Then I don't feel so shit about my poor driving effort.
yeah.
But
Maybe.
yeah, I think yeah, yeah, I think
Maybe
my
there's nothing wrong with the track. We just make up shit to make ourselves feel better.
yeah, but I think me going back next time, I think I've got the sort of the last couple of corners of the track running the traditional direction fairly dialed both directions. I'm pretty happy with that, and I feel like I can adjust the car sort of how I want to do. Uh, Through the kink, going up the hill and going down the hill, I think I've got to try and find a way of using third more, definitely for the uphill. Uh, and then I think over the hill, I'm fairly happy once I'm settled. That right hander, sort of the backy corner going on the uphill section, going the other way where you had your little bingle and I missed gears multiple times. I think I need to approach differently. I think I was just trying to. Everything was happening too late for me.
I thought you were going wide, like real wide.
Yeah, I was, but it wasn't intentional.
Oh, okay.
Nah, that was me washing out big time.
Did you try and clip the end of the concrete wall? Oh, sorry,
Oh,
on the as the wall ended.
on the left hander or
Yeah,
the
on the
right
left
hander?
hander. Yeah, on the left hander as the wall ended,
The
and
big
then you turn to the
sweeping.
right.
The
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually clipping. There's like a concrete curb there.
Okay.
Once I started realizing if I drove it out to that concrete curb, I could hold third without needing to reclutch it so many times. I could, if I needed to and it bogged down, I could just if I hit one clutch stab there, then I could transition in third and then downshift. But
Yeah.
I think I wasn't probably snapping the car back enough to use angle to slow the car down into that right hander. I think I was
Yeah.
trying to use like handbrake and foot brake to slow down the car in the downshift.
Yeah.
I'm also a pussy and sort of keep the clutch in for way too long when I downshift. Like I'll downshift and keep the clutch in, wait for the car to settle, and then let out the clutch instead of letting it out straight away and using. Um,
Yeah. It depends. Like
yeah,
I
no, I
think
know
you
it
can
depends on the
use yeah.
corner, but I think
Yeah.
if I'd done that and just got back on the gas, I would have been at the perfect spot. But instead, I stayed in the clutch for too long and it washed me past the corner. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's a corner for running wide. Really, you run wide on the
Nah.
exit, and then
It looks like you're gonna spin like every time I chase Cam. It's like, oh man, I don't know if he's actually gonna hold this because it feels unnatural. So
yeah. Well, I had
I
Shane do a perfect overtake on me in that corner for that exact same reason.
yeah, yeah, he probably thought you're gonna spin.
No, no, I don't think he thought no, because I'd done it a couple of times in front of him already, and I think he just saw that the space was open, and uh, I think I think he I'm hoping he guesses that I'm fairly aware of what's going around me. So he was just like, "Fuck it, my car's faster. I'm picking this gap." And the
Yeah,
worst part was I was going to keep chasing him for the rest of the run, and the first part was okay, but in the GoPro video, I'm too busy laughing the rest of the way down the hill, and I end up fucking it up further down the hill because, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for the fat girl to lose some weight.
Oh, really? What
Yeah,
are you
but I'm
gonna
not
do?
sure. I don't know. I think I'll just start with speakers and stuff like that, and the
Ugh.
passenger airbag. But I don't want
Is
to
it
take too much out of it.
is it registered still?
Nah,
Okay.
hasn't been registered in a few months. It could easily be registered if I put a non-Halo seat in and did the factory steering wheel. Then I'd be it's good for rego. But yeah, I don't see much sense.
Well, how much? Where can you get weight out of it, and how much can you get out?
Yeah, see, I just don't feel like I can get rid of enough. I reckon I could probably get rid of. I reckon subwoofer, factory airbag, the 4 other speakers. I could probably lose a small person, probably 50, 60 kilos. It wouldn't surprise me if all the speaker gear weighs around that. Supposedly the passenger side airbag is fucking enormous as well. But I think that's about it. Really, the hatch is a big killer. It weighs an absolute shit ton. I think just getting anything from high up down low would be good. And I think if I was to go to a non-factory seat in the passenger seat as well, would probably save a bunch of weight because it's leather, electric, and heated seats.
Actually, heating shouldn't be that much. It's
Yeah, but
because
it's still all that shit that
yeah,
adds
I
up.
think it's
But
the electric seat would probably be
the advantage to running a seat like that is everybody fits in it, or pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's good for drift school and just doing passenger runs and stuff like that. So might try and find one of those the lowest end Sparkos or something that are just pretty much a glorified standard seat.
Yeah, like with the low bolsters and
Yeah, and they're
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
they're a tilt back
Yep,
and all
yep.
that sort of stuff. But it'll probably that would probably be a good 10, 15 kilos, I would imagine, in
You got to bring the
seats.
hatch down so then Connor can make you a
Yeah, I started looking at
yeah.
them from overseas, but yeah, I have a spare hatch, so maybe I'll get Connor to. But as soon as you do that, then you start losing your factory glass and everything starts to look a bit tatty and shit. So we'll see.
No, just put the glass back in.
Yeah, potentially.
I don't know how strong it would be, but well,
Yeah,
I don't know how strong
just
it needs to be. Or
it just flex and the glass would shatter.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll have a look into doing bits and pieces like that just slow. I think you were the only car that I'd tandem with that I could actually keep up with.
Oh really?
Yeah, because Shane and Lockie just gone
Yeah.
when
Okay.
they let out on me.
I thought that was pretty good track for pacing. Like it was enough corners, so when there was a power difference, it didn't really
Maybe for part of the track,
make.
but that's a lot of yeah. It didn't bake, but there's just a lot of corners. So
Yeah.
and a few shallow corners. So if the other person got a better dig out of the corner, then they were
Yeah, but I
gone.
think that's a good thing. So it's more, it's not, it's less about car power. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit about grip and drive, but you can kind of make up power with skill. But then if you get
Yeah,
someone that's really skilled and has a really well set up car that's really powerful, they're gonna be fast.
yeah, really fast.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, next time it'll just be aiming to use less foot brake and more time on throttle, less time changing gears and less handbrake, I guess, to try and match that up. But what are you making? You're like 150 or something, right? Kilowatt,
Um,
if you're lucky.
160.
Yeah,
I
and
think it's 161.
and I'm 190 and several hundred kilos more than you.
Yeah.
So yeah, better match than what I was with Shane, who's low 200s and a fair few
Yeah.
100 kilos lighter.
Yeah. Yeah. I think no. I think Shane's mid 200s, isn't
Yeah, but he
it?
said it was.
250.
I spoke to him about it, but it was dynoed. I think like 240ish, but dynoed 9 years ago or something. So
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's has a different engine in it from when it was dynoed, so
So it's potentially even less.
I don't know. Well, it's meant to be less, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
this is your mystery motor.
This is a mystery motor that blows smoke when I bought it, so
It didn't look
it's
like it
meant to
was
be
blowing
rings.
smoke.
Huh?
Didn't look like it was blowing
I know.
smoke.
Yeah, it's weird. Or whatever.
So it was probably a blown turbo.
I don't know. It was
Bargain,
kind of
mate. Bargain.
these days. Yeah, SRs are freaking expensive. I saw the
Yeah.
one. I think someone posted it for like 2.9 or something for a S14 motor, no inlet manifold, no exhaust manifold. It's all a long motor.
Yeah, shit. Jake said he thinks Shane was running 235s. I was on 235s as well. Just probably only had about half of that as contact patch.
Yeah, that makes a big difference having the camber to cancel out the contact patch.
Yeah, and I
Fucking
think I might step up to 245s and then go to a higher sidewall profile once I've finished flogging these front tires and they've seen their life cycle. So
yeah,
see if I can get a little bit more drive out of them. And it's not even so much drive. The thing that I've found, and especially on a track like this, what I've been really enjoying about the 350 is when you carry enough momentum, it rewards you.
yeah,
Where other tracks, it's well, and Port Macquarie is a perfect example of this because it's so much digging out of a corner. It doesn't matter how much power you've got. You think you're doing amazing things because you speed up, throw it in, check the car right up, and then no matter how much power you've got because you've slowed down so much, you can do a rolling burnout out of the corner. Um, right? You sort of feel the
yeah,
same way.
yeah,
Um, but this track for most of the corners rewarded good momentum and good line.
yeah.
If you're trying to do it without shoving mungies in weird places and
Yeah,
doing
you're not
doing
wrong.
doing super big mungies and stuff like that. So I think that's what I've been enjoying the most with the 350 is the fact that if I don't drive it on throttle and letting the car carry its momentum, then it bites back. It just doesn't work, especially running it as gripped up as what I try and run it. So maybe I'll let you drive it again soon.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
I don't know. I was kind of unimpressed when I was driving it last time, so yeah, I don't know. I didn't really
This is
have
a
a
different.
desire to drive it.
This is a different car.
Yeah, but you said it was running fine. Okay,
Um,
died.
you're just
My
scared you'll
experience
break
of
another one.
350Zs is that they're shit cars.
So yeah, we'll see. Um, uh, I don't think we have many beginners who listen, but there's the beginner day on the 1st of November. I think that is. Yes,
Yeah.
1st of November. I
You
think
looked
there's
it up.
still a few
I
spots
think it's a
about.
Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a Friday. I think
Yep.
there's still a few spots open for that one, but yeah, they're they are keeping it as a beginner day. If they know the name or anything like that, then you're going to be told to piss off. I tried to do the sneaky and get in there, and it didn't work. So
You're gonna come down still, aren't you?
I'll see. It's the same week as we all arrive back from Gambia, so I will have missed work
Oh,
on
is it?
Monday already.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. I'll see what all my students and stuff are doing, and then decide from there. Uh, but yeah, if you are a genuine beginner or want some tips and things like that, and feel like you're not super experienced, then yeah, definitely book in and do that. I think they'll be, from my understanding, we'll be limiting corners to start with, and just sort of trying to get people settled because there are some places that are fairly unforgiving. Um, and then they'll sort of take it from there, and then hopefully after that, well, I think even potentially before that, then there should be some announcements about hopefully some stuff moving forward. Fingers crossed.
Yep. This
Um,
big event that they mentioned about.
yeah,
Yeah.
so hopefully that'll be locked in, and they can come in and do some confirmation on all of that. I also heard that the owner is looking at doing more extensions to the actual track surface, not just redoing the surface itself, but also the track becoming longer and more stuff being added. So that's a little bit of time away, but yeah, the facilities definitely sounds like it's going to go from strength to strength. So fingers crossed we're all up on all of that, and the drifting thing keeps happening. Uh,
I wonder where they're gonna go.
so where the spectator sort of area was, supposedly that's going to be a main straight and a pit area or something, basically back through there into the forest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
Because
it.
that
I don't know if
forest
it'll.
isn't very big. Like they're like right in the middle of the forest that they have.
Yeah, but they've acquired more land than I think people think they have. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but from my understanding, that's sort of the plan is to head back in that way somewhere and add some more stuff. But I think that's long term
'Cause
planning stuff.
I remember originally back when Gary owned it, he was talking about extending it further down the straight.
Yeah,
So um, it was gonna. I think there's like a little, not a drainage area. What's it called? Like where all the
a
water
dam,
yeah, where the runoff
a dam.
accumulates. Yeah. Well, no, I think no, it's like a control pond or something like that. So if they
Yeah,
get
fair
oil
enough.
spills, it's not for drinking, but it's for
Irrigation.
no, like runoff from the track. So
Yeah.
that if you get petrol or oil, it goes into that and then it gets filtered
Ah,
out.
okay. Does it go into the environment and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. So I think it was meant to go um when he was talking about it goes sort of down towards that and around, like not around it, but like alongside it and then back onto um
Yeah, back in
joins up in
back.
some way.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I remember he was talking about, but I don't know
yeah, still in the
uh,
works.
if that's what the extension is, because I just remember looking at it on Google Maps. It's right in the middle of it's probably in the best spot you can put it in that little foresty area because it's right in the middle.
Yeah, I just don't know if they ended up acquiring the neighbors that are directly behind the track that you don't drive past on the way in.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I don't know. It'd be cool, like if they can make it bigger, because I was pretty blown away by
oh,
the
definitely more than enough for us. Like perfect
yeah,
for drift events. Ideally there'd be some sort of spectator area overlooking the sort of the bowl and the long sweeping corner in or out of the bowl, depending on the direction that we're running. But
yeah,
because that would make a good little, I think that would be a great little section for competitions running both directions, really.
yeah.
The only problem with that area currently is that there's not there's no great way of spectating that section. Uh,
Yeah, I never actually went around to like walk for that far down to Bowley area, but
Past you can only get as far as just down from the cafe, really.
yeah. Oh, I mean like getting a vest on, having a look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
what
and
it's like
going down
down there.
there.
Yeah,
But I think if you're gonna run a competition or do anything like that, there like a DCA, I think they would be your sort of two or three corners that you would be running.
yeah. I was just thinking that as well. Yeah, if it would be better to get, um, because I can kind of see something could kind of work out at the top, along the top, and I can kind of see something work out down near the bottom. So
Oh, you mean running over the top of the hill in some way?
yeah,
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, but it's just the fact that you'd be hitting the corners in the sort of similar direction the whole way, and if you sort of
Yeah.
if you're running, I guess if you're running the uphill direction going over the top of the crest, then it would be cool because you're going in from a wider corner to a tighter corner. But if you're doing it the other direction, it's kind of shitty because if you fuck up the first corner in the chase, then you're pretty much
Yep.
fucked for coming over the hill, and there'll just be a massive gap.
Yeah. That's along the lines I was thinking anyway.
Yeah,
So, but
and that would be more spectator friendly, but just probably not as cool from a driver's point of view, just because it's not as many corners. But
no, it won't be because it's way too tight. There's enough area around it to actually be able to manage people, judge and spectate and everything. Like you really
yeah,
want the
but
judges in where the spectators are, and
yeah, but yeah, look, definitely. Hopefully, something will happen there in the next couple of years if things happen, and hopefully, it's a destination that if this whole DCA 2020 next year's 2020, right? 2020 thing's going to
2020,
happen.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe DCA will come to New South Wales, and that can be where it happens.
yeah, it'd be cool. It would be able to house the field
Yeah,
cars.
yeah, easily, and I know it, and it's really not that far from Sydney, from the south side
Yeah.
of Sydney. Like, if Oran Park was still a racetrack instead of a housing development, I think it would be about an hour door to door,
Well,
not even.
how long did it take you? Because you're
Only,
smack dab
only
in the
about
middle of
only
Sydney.
yeah, was only about an hour and a half, or a
Yeah,
bit like an hour and 40. Uh, and Narellan is 40 minutes for me,
yeah.
so
So
less than an hour from the edge of Sydney to the track. So
it's not that far away.
nah. So yeah, definitely potentially a good little destination if Luke's thinking about having a DCA event.
I don't think he's listening anymore.
Oh, I know, but hopefully somebody can give him a shake on it.
Yeah, well, we'll bring it up with him back
You know what? I'm just gonna talk shit. I'll believe it when I see it. The 2020 happens. Uh, yeah,
That was Marulan.
yeah, yeah. Beautiful facility. Honestly, can't thank the management enough. Nick for God knows how many deep throats he did to make it all happen. Poor motherfucker probably needs knee reconstruction because he's probably got no skin left. But yeah, keen to get back there.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Apparently, I can't take my 180 next time. I set my 32.
Yeah, 180s seem to find their roof. So yeah, don't take your 180.
I like it though.
No, I know. I'm
Oh,
just we're all having a lend. We're
yeah,
all having a lend.
but yeah, I probably will take my 32 just because like if something does happen, then you'll be like, ah, I
Ah,
told you so.
take both.
I
I don't know how you,
wish
I don't know how you get both cars up there, but take both.
you drive one up, come back, and you drive another one up.
Just about. Um, I guess let's just talk some shit for a little bit longer, and then we'll piss off. I want to build
Yeah,
another car. I've
you've
been
been talking about that for ages.
no, I know, but like I've been tossing up more and more what I should do, and
What do you think at the moment? You know what I want? Like I
what do
think
you want?
I mentioned the other day actually when we were talking.
What do you
Um,
want?
I want to get an S15.
And keep it SR.
Yeah, I don't really care. I just like the look of it at the moment.
I like how it's at the moment. Don't you have a 34 four door at the moment?
Yeah, but that's not really a drift car kind of
Put a
thing.
two, put a 2J or 1J in it and make it a drift car.
No, well, that's why the last week or so I was saying yeah I want to get a car, and I was talking about the comparison between the 1J and the K20, K24s,
Yeah,
and the SRs,
yeah.
and then Yeah, I think in the end I'll just keep it SR.
Yeah, look, I don't think the price is going to go much higher than it is currently for SRs because every time it rains in Sydney, another S15 gets written off. So motors are really a dime a dozen, and soon there's going to be more motors than cars. So it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I'm starting to think. Originally, I was starting to look at going doing a 180 or something and keeping it SR just because I've got some bits and pieces still left over for an S13 SR motor. But I think I'll probably end up trying to do a 14 again and probably be lazy and do a 1J or something. I think
Yeah,
I think it's seeming like the
I think the
best.
1J makes more impact
Yeah,
and it has easy power, I guess.
yeah, and look, it's not to replace the 350. It's to serve a different purpose to the 350. The 350 is still the perfect car to, don't get defensive in the comments, mate. Uh,
No, I wasn't listening. I have to remind him because he's a little bit hard at understanding, explaining things. So
uh, yeah, look, the 350 I don't think will ever leave the stable now. It'll probably get more rough, more eventually get more shit pulled
until it
out of
gets
it.
destroyed, you mean?
Yeah, that sort of
Okay.
thing. Because it just works. Like so many people have been. Rob keeps sending me, Westside Mechanics. Rob every so often will send me, some for sale post will go up for a supercharger or a
Yeah.
twin turbo kit or that sort of shit, and he'll just tag me in it or send it to me, and I'm just like, I'm not doing it. Uh, so I think yeah, as it starts to get roughed up more, maybe I'll do carbon hatches and shit like that to try and pull some weight out of it and make it.
Or fiberglass, or just put a
Yeah, just
piece of tarpaulin over it.
yeah, that sort of shit. Just to no, I still want it to look like a car. I still like it being nice, but the fact that it just works all day is fucking magical. Except I'm getting too old to do that many laps. I suffered on Sunday because of it. What I probably need to do is put some sort of like drink bottle system in the car.
Just pull off and just get a
No, I
drink.
I get carried away, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Trust me, I just get carried away. Uh, so I'm sort of like, I'll do one more. Oh, no, tires aren't flapping yet. Let's do another one. Tires aren't flapping yet. Let's do another one. Tires aren't flapping yet. So, uh, but yeah, I think if DCA is going to be a thing
Yep.
and make a comeback, yeah, I think I want to do probably a 1J S chassis of some variety again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
definitely. I think if it's competitive these days, you need. We don't need it, but it seems easy to get a
Yeah,
1J and get
especially
power
on
out of it.
yeah, and on a 2.3, and I'm talking driving in a 235 tire series, so you're not looking at much more than say 300 kilowatt out of it
Yeah.
and things like that. If I was to do an SR, you'd be looking at mid to high 200s, but you add that little bit extra weight, and you want to go a little bit more just to compensate for that. But yeah,
What
I think
about
that's the
V8?
direction.
Would you consider V8?
Nah,
No.
nah, not really. Uh, nah, nah, nah,
That's
nah.
un-Australian, Greg.
Nah, it's like I've got I've got an NA car.
Turbo V8. There you go.
Mm. Yeah, but
Supercharged.
I just said just over 300 kilowatt, and now you're talking like shitloads of torque, and
400, 500 kilowatt. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't want to have to. I don't want to service a car that's that expensive. And what I mean by that is like putting tires on it, doing all that sort of shit.
Fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything at that stage. And let's be real, other than World Time Attack, what would you build a car like that for? unless you've got
amounts.
unless you've got shitloads of money, disposable income to and heaps of energy to keep going in and changing tires every 2 laps. Look, Camo Moat proved that you can show up to World Time Attack with a 1J, a fairly mild 1J car that's set up properly and do well.
Yeah.
Um, I think even last year he drove that. So I think it's just a matter of getting the car set up right and carrying enough momentum. Even Blake's is only a 1J, right?
1.5J.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's still a 2J.
Pretty sure. Yeah, it's 440 kilowatt. I think it was.
Oh, that's a lot more than I thought he had.
It's crazy. Like I remember driving at Talem's, and he's like, just change it as quick as you can to fourth gear, and even fourth gear, it just red lines. Just
Really? I didn't think his car was that highly strung.
um, I don't think it is, but he's also running DCA tire rules, so it's not they're not very sticky tires.
Yeah, and I guess World Time Attack when he was running sticky tires, the car was misfiring like a son of a bitch. So, and then it rained, which helps with the misfire. So, yeah, I don't think I've seen it at full
Nah,
anger other than on
I
on
don't
figure eight. So,
I don't think it has been. I think well, actually, no, it's been yeah, because it was only within the last year that he's actually
wound it up.
it's kind of put a well, it's an S15 now, not the S14, but
Yeah,
it's actually like back up to what it was before spec
yeah,
wise.
yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, I think he'd been sort of leaving the maintenance on that
Yeah,
a bit
too busy
behind.
buying other cars.
Yeah, doing stuff, trading cars because he doesn't. Anyway, yeah.
Typical Blake stuff. But yeah, I think that's sort of where I want to go if I'm gonna do a competition car because yeah, I think we're gonna be hopefully sitting in some tire rule stuff for a while. And the reality is, I ran 235 semis on the S14. I've run 235 semis uh, on the 350, and all it really does is mean that you can do everything just a little bit later. Uh, I think as I'm getting better at driving, I don't, I won't be hugely reliant on the power if I decided to go and do, you know, higher tier stuff if it still exists or if it sort of comes along or whatever. The only time I'd have trouble is if anybody decided to do, uh, you know, FD tire rule type situation with like 295s or 305s or
Hmm.
something fucking retarded.
Yeah, but
Adam says,
it wouldn't be affordable then.
yeah, well, exactly.
Well,
Um,
you get very few people that could actually afford to pay
yeah,
that
no, no,
much money
of course, but that's
constantly.
just, yeah, but that's just me. You know, don't want to upset people who think it's going to go there.
Hmm.
Um, Adam said 6-cylinder power doesn't compare to 4-cylinder power. Uh, he's more techie than me, so I got no idea what he means by that.
Just power
Um,
delivery.
yeah, um,
It's different.
yeah. I've driven a couple of 6-cylinders before, and they come up a little bit more lazy and a little less snappy as the SR was when it finally actually came on its shit. But yeah, I'm talking easy competition car to drive. So yeah, Connor, we spoke about K series, and it would be something that I'd actually consider doing. But I think again that would probably be more of a fun car type situation. You go K24, and then you do a turbo that matches that.
I think it's a comp car if it's a K series.
Yeah, but I don't see. I just don't know enough about the motors and all that sort of stuff. I guess if I knew more about them and the inner workings and where their shortcomings are, not that I'm sure that there's all that many
Well,
shortcomings of them, but
the biggest thing is you need to pull them apart before you install it.
just to check them?
No, because they run. What are they called? They run where the coolant runs around the cylinders.
Yeah, like the
You know what
coolant
I
gallery
mean?
type of things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. No, you don't. Okay, there's no word. Okay, so anyway, they need to be
Well,
filled
Connor's
in.
just said balance bars, but I don't know if that's something else.
Open deck.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to change. So you need to pull the engine apart. Well, ideally you'd pull the engine apart. You don't. I guess you don't need to, but you need to. Ideally, you need to pull the engine apart to make it so it'll last longer in your application.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're aluminium block because
Yeah.
being front. Yeah, that's
Yeah. But the other thing was, I think I mentioned it as well. You also it weighs more than an SR.
well, yeah, that's to be expected. It's a higher displacement, so
Yeah, like it's a lot more than I thought it would be.
yeah,
It's
fair enough.
a taller engine as well.
Uh, so you actually lose some of the
So
benefits of staying four cylinder at that stage. Then,
yeah, so it's kind of so the way I see it is if you're gonna go for a big build between SR and a K series, probably these days you'd want to get a K series if you were starting with nothing.
yeah,
But if you
yeah. If
already
you're building something
have
from bare bones,
yeah, if you already have SR gear,
yeah,
you already had
intake
um,
manifold, all that sort of shit.
exhaust, yeah, all that stuff. At the moment, probably better off staying with SR.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
because it's harder and harder to flog your shit off too.
yeah.
I feel like
Well, kind of like it's easy enough for you to, and it's financially, it's probably a better decision.
yeah, yeah, and there hasn't
So
been too many. Not in high level comp that have gone and done a K swap. The only real K that's made it into FD, if I remember correctly, was in the S2000. Not too
yep,
many guys have gone to that, but pretty much everybody's gone away from four cylinders in general, other than Papadakis. But they're heavily
yeah,
supported by Toyota, and that's what sort of fit the frame in the car that Toyota wanted them in. So, and now they're going to the six cylinder anyway. Uh,
so
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it comes down to how much you want to modify. Like me looking at doing a 1J is going Curse Sunday style and pretty much just dropping a stock 1J in it, slapping a turbo that makes the number you want to make, and off you go, sort of thing.
yeah.
Um, where with some of this, like
Well, yeah, I don't
Connor's
have
spoke,
experience with
yeah,
other engines, so
yeah, where Connor's talking about doing a bloody 2.6 liter stroker and all this sort of shit, but like as soon as you do all that, then it's just gone all a bit
yeah.
wild at that stage. So
The economic the gain you get
yeah, just
isn't is
that.
it starts disappearing. It doesn't really at that point. It doesn't really matter as much which engine you pick. You just pick an engine that you want, and you build it to what you can.
Yeah. Um, and then do you hand back some of your manhood when you change your Nissan and put a Honda motor in it?
But I like Hondas, but
Yeah, so do
um,
I. But like Hondas in Hondas and stuff like that. So
no,
I'm just stirring shit anyway.
no, it's a good point because I'll but no.
There are a whole bunch of fuckers would say that it's not the right go and all that sort of stuff. But
I did
yeah,
actually think about what's the Ford G63, is that it? The Mitsubishi Evo motor, but they're freaking expensive.
yeah, and because they only came in Evos, they're not they're fairly rare. Like
Yeah, and when they come
and that's
up, they're like 7 to 9 grand for the
yeah.
motor.
Where you've got to think something like an SR has was cheap for a while and still is relatively cheap in performance motor wise because they're dime a dozen really. Harder and harder to get now, but still were dime a dozen. Jay-Z's exactly the same. K24's exactly the same. Came out in so many. Well, Jay-Z's came out in so many cars in Japan. Uh,
Yeah, not
and
so many here though.
yeah, but you can still get a shipping container filled with 1Js and 2Js brought over here.
Hmm.
Um, and then K24s came in and absolutely everything. So, well, not everything, but a lot of Hondas. So,
Hmm.
and not just
Yeah.
Hondas, yeah, Lotuses and things like that too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, hardly everything except when the cars that you name off
There's
are
not
all
many
fairly rare cars anyway. They're hardly.
ESRs. There's not very many of
It's hardly a
RBR. There's still not the Elantra.
it's hardly a commuter car like your Chasers
I mean,
um, and all
Elantras
that
don't
sort of
even
stuff.
exist anymore.
So yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, so that's. But then the cost of that plus all the other gear is
yeah.
way more. It's not like economic in comparison to.
So do we take bets on if Jake sticks with his plans to go to K24?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Just like thinking it out. He's got the money to buy whatever. So I mean, there's nothing stopping him from picking it except his decision. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Be interesting to see it in a 8.6 platform, considering what
it's
comes in an
taller.
8.6. Yeah, and what
Yeah,
comes in an 8.6 platform is so low to the ground.
yeah, and then it's gonna have this ugly bonnet bump
Yeah, like it
if
sits.
it does. Yeah, I don't know. I
Well,
don't
the
know. I
the
don't.
motor sits completely opposite to what. Um, he's like, no, I don't have the money to do whatever. Um, yeah, it's the complete opposite of what is sort of comes in that car from factory. So, and I know the same can be said for Jay-Z's and all that, but just the fact that it's such a tall motor.
Hmm. I think it's yeah. So what saying K24 being cheaper? I think it's if you cost them out, I think they'll be the same money
Yeah, I guess.
at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. I understand what you're saying because you're saying you're buying everything anyway, so you're pretty much. It's
Yeah,
just sort of what you start with is sort of cheaper in some ways.
yeah.
It's done in the
America's
states.
a different country.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to pay US dollars, then I guess you can do that.
I think he
SR.
means. I think he means as in the engine sitting in a 8.6.
Yeah, I don't think it's heaps cheaper than an SR.
If Adam's saying it, that must be true. Well, just don't break them, and then you don't need to replace them.
Because if you start out with nothing and then no, it's still how
Yeah.
much? How much does a K24 cost? Like $500?
Nah, they've gone up a little. Oh, yeah, there are some online for around that.
About $500, right? And then you're gonna open it. Like you're not gonna run it as is.
Yeah, but your build cost is still the same. So you've already saved at that
Four hundred
stage.
dollars. Ah, it's $100 less than SR.
Okay. What do you mean? Where are you gonna SR for? Oh, you're
Because
talking
you're
about
gonna
like.
get an SR. You're gonna get an SR that you're gonna build essentially. Because
Yeah, but you're not gonna buy a rod knocked bottom end SR to start with.
no, you get one with like a blown head gasket or something.
Yeah, but at that stage you're still gonna be paying $1,000 for a blown
Four
head
hundred
gasket one.
$400 engine straight in. So no turbo, no injectors, no computer, no loom, no. That doesn't. Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, yeah, but we're talking something like Jake's. It's a full blown race car, so.
So non-turbo. Are we talking about? So we're talking. I think they're talking K24 non-turbo and SR non-turbo.
I'm just nah. Jake will be running a turbo surely. That'll be a turboed car.
Yeah, but you still need to get manifold, exhaust manifold,
Yeah, yeah. But
exhaust,
that's the same with any build though.
turbo. I know. That's what I'm saying is when you put
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
stuff together, like how much is the exhaust manifold going to cost? How much?
yeah. But that's the same as
Turbo's going to be the
that.
same. Exhaust manifold,
It's gonna be the same.
you reckon?
Yeah, most places that will do them will charge the same no matter what. The number of
Exhaust,
cylinders, really. Oh, sorry, intake. Yeah, intake. I'm not sure because that'll have to be done. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see this.
exhaust, because it exits on the wrong side, the opposite side.
Yes, so does Jay Z and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, because we're comparing SR
Oh
and
yeah,
K24, not the 1J. So you need to get an exhaust made. Yeah, computer would be the same. Like you just get whatever link.
yeah. I still
They
I
both
still
run a
think
computer.
exhaust is the same. I think all your fabrication stuff and anything you need to make is going to be the same either way.
Yeah, but you can get it like an SR build will be cheaper because you can get the parts cheaper. Like the SR exhaust manifold, exhaust system will be cheaper.
Yeah, because you can buy off the shelf stuff or whatever,
Yeah,
um, but reality is for most of that stuff, you'd go drop it at a workshop or have somebody who knows what they're doing do your hot side and on all that. So
yeah. So the cost is it's not that dissimilar. Like when you're comparing an
oh, of course,
SR
yeah.
with no gear,
the
yeah,
only difference you're talking is the sort of anywhere from 500 to 1500 in buying a motor to start with.
yeah, and that's it. Otherwise,
Everything else is the same.
everything else is the same. So
But
there's not that.
as Adam says, you've got the torque gain there.
Yeah, you got the torque gain, but like the cost of the build, it's like say in the end it's gonna cost like I'm just gonna put a figure like 9 grand, including
But
computer, blah blah blah, like computer loom for both, and then with the K24 being the difference between the $400 motor and the $1,000 motor, so it's $600 cheaper out of
yeah,
like a 9 grand build.
yeah. Well, and then you've had to do the conversion side of stuff too.
Yeah, but then the other thing I don't like is, well, not really a fan of is like there's so many custom stuff, and so when something fails in that's custom, you're kind of stuck.
I like it. Adam's just like, yeah, mate, closer to 25,000, not your 9 grand. But
Oh, well, that's what
it,
I've put. Okay,
it,
so
EG does.
25. That's even worse. Like when you say 25 grand between for a
But
full build, then you're comparing 400 and $1,000. That's $600 out of a 25 grand bill. That's such a small amount to worry about. Like you can pick whatever motor you want
yeah,
then. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I think in terms of moving forward over the years, if it's sort of a forever car, it makes your life easier in some ways.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you start off with nothing,
Yeah, which
like could
which
yeah,
which is what Jake is doing. Jake
yeah.
is
So
starting with nothing,
that's
full blown
fine.
race car. But if
Yeah.
you're starting with say, I don't know, an S14 that already has an SR
An
in it,
SR in
then
it that's running, then yeah,
it doesn't necessarily make sense.
no. Well, if it's 25 grand, then you just sell the SR. It's like if it's 25 grand bill, that's even worse. Like that's even worse of an argument to say you're gonna save $600
On a
of a
motor. Yeah,
25 grand bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, that's the reason I would be more serious at doing a 1J or something for the level of competition and serviceability in Australia is just because it's been done. You buy
Yeah.
everything
Well,
off the
I
shelf.
think it doesn't really matter. It's more what you have now. I think it's probably that'll be the more the deciding factor. So if you had nothing like Jake, then you could choose,
Yeah.
and it'd be
What?
economically wouldn't be that much different.
Yeah. Well, it's part of yeah, sort of part of the reason I'd be swayed to staying SR is if I could get a 13 motor in and running because I just have some bits and pieces for a 13
Yeah.
motor that would, you know, save me that. But then the headaches moving forward, do I want to go down that road again? Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, we shall see. We need to. I think after Gambia, well after Tassie, we'll try and chase up Luke and grill him for what his plans are for 2020 and see if it's going to be a thing. If not, keep just flogging the shit out of my 350, and maybe I'll buy another 350 and just cut everything out of it until there's nothing left, and then just compare the two cars side by side.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be the other option. I guess that comparison would just be to drive Buddy Luke's car, which is exactly the same with just nothing in it anymore because it's convertible. But
His one's a rev up motor, isn't it? Like a high
no,
revving motor? No?
no,
I
no,
thought all convertibles were high.
no. That ended up being bullshit. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So nah. But just yeah, when you run the convertible, you can just pull all the motors and everything out that adds weight because of the roof. So, but yeah, need carbon fiber doors and carbon fiber hatch, and then I'd be set.
Okay, Connor to make you some.
Yeah. All right. Send them down to Connor.
Yeah.
They might
Well, I
come back
can
with glitter blue paint or something.
just actually those things are freaking heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, fucking oath they are.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't want to carry that shit.
No, I can carry it. It'll be fine.
Uh,
Drop
but
it off with
yeah.
Connor, and he can make one.
So when are you gonna grip up your car and get a little bit more power, mate? When you achieve more goals.
What am I gonna do? I need a computer,
Yeah. Niche tune.
and no, I want a link actually.
Yeah, I understand, but if you're going for the tight ass spec, then the niche tune's more than enough to get some more out of it.
But the difference between a Nice tune and a link isn't too much price wise again. You know what I mean? And then you've got
Yeah, just more safeties.
yeah, I think like you'd probably spend
Yeah, and you
like
could
if you
fuck
get a good deal, yeah, then
and you could fuck off your airflow meter too.
yeah. Some people think it's a bad idea to actually get rid of it.
Nah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Purely from a means that if anything happens and you blow a cooler pipe or whatever, at least you can keep driving until you're off the track safely and all that sort of shit instead of the car just turning into a complete bucket.
Yeah.
Um, and then what would you do? Slightly bigger turbo.
No, I don't think so.
You just tune it to make sure it made 200 kilowatt.
Yeah. Yeah, because
That's
that
not
still
enough.
scares the shit out of me in Japan,
Nah,
so
nah,
it'll be fine.
just a little bit bigger turbo, like a 2860 or something.
If it's anything, it'd be one of those Kinagawa turbos that like
Yeah, but like
what?
that size sort of turbo.
Yeah,
All right, we should do that.
that's money. Like yeah,
Just get your heating issues sorted in the 32, so it's
both cars.
always
Yeah,
always ready car, and
yeah.
then
No, I actually have another turbo, by the way. I have a TD06.
so fucking run that shit then.
So No, because I don't have injectors or computer.
Well, if I put my intake manifold online and nobody buys it, then maybe we'll just put it on your car instead.
Um, yeah,
Gritty
maybe.
with Gritty with 2,000 injectors
I,
already on it, so
well, I guess the other thing is, I think because I've got my old injectors on in Nick's car, and I hasn't driven it in
no, that's
a
just
long
excuses,
time.
mate.
I can just
That's
take them and then put them in instead.
excuse me, Adam. Don't talk shit about 2871s. There's nothing that a quick stab of the left foot doesn't make that shit bag up like a motherfucker. So that's what I had until it fell apart in the first 14. So
Man, if I had lots of money, then I'd have yeah much better turbos. But the yeah, it's
Well,
just
well,
everything costs money, and then like the more power you have, the more things, tires, fuel,
I
things
know,
just
but
wear out.
yeah, but that's why you have the 32 for the everyday car, and then you have the other one as the expensive car. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll finally convince you one day to do a gripped up car with some power. And I
You
don't
paid
mean
for it.
stupid power. Hey, I told you I'd give you the bloody intake manifold and shit if nobody buys it, and that's an expensive intake manifold. So
Oh, that's the genuine Gretty one, isn't it?
yeah,
Jesus, that thing was expensive.
yeah, and even the fucking throttle body was expensive.
Yeah.
So hey, you don't need anti-lag, just your left foot on the clutch, and yeah, that shit'll go. Just
No,
keep
because
step.
like with the anti-lag, you need to remember about the brakes, because that's what happened to Blake when he put anti-lag in the S14 because there was no vacuum phase. You lost the brake booster.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
If it's a race car, mate, you don't have a brake booster anyway.
no, well you can put an like unassisted brake
Yeah.
master cylinder in, which is fine, but like it just keeps adding to the cost. Like as soon as you make all these changes, like you gotta okay, so you change this, and you
Yeah,
need to
nah.
change this, and then
You know the
this, and then
worst part when you say shit like that now?
what's that?
I'm almost on the same page as you, and that makes me feel like an old tight ass cunt too. Like,
Oh,
like previous me would have been like, "Yep, nah, fuck it, race car, let's go." And now I listen to you, and I'm like, "Yeah, there's not much point in doing much more than that in this country currently. So if you want to
yeah,
have it, it's purely it's not for anything other than your own heart's
no,
desire."
that's right. Yeah, if you want it, that's fine.
Yeah,
I just can't afford it. Well, I don't want to afford it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to
Your money,
sacrifice other things
your money
to do
can go
that.
somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fair. Very fair.
yeah,
All right, well, let's wrap this one up. It's been a fairly short one, even at an hour and a half.
yeah. It's good
Uh,
because I want to cough like crazy.
um, yeah, so spawn the challenge this weekend if you're in Sydney. Um, it's a beginner comp, but sounds like there's some car shows and some other stuff going on out there. So long weekend. Uh, get out there if you're around. I think the entry is like $10, so not you know not bad value to go and have a look. You'll see celebrities there like EG. Uh, and then yeah, just entries for Mount Gambier
Yeah,
and
that's
and
coming
Tassie
up
and Tassie
real
Matsuri with
soon. It seems
Adam
like yeah, that's
LZ's
going.
coming.
It seems like that's going starting to pick up pace, like just from
Yeah,
posts and messages I've seen. So if
yeah,
you haven't got your entry in, then think about it. Not too long.
yeah. Look, hopefully Luke's not listening, but there's still plenty of spots, so don't stress about it too much. But yeah, from a organizer's point of view, I think having money in their pocket early would be better because they have costs. So, uh, and then yeah, World Time Attack coming up. So I think yeah,
Yeah, when are they
we
gonna do the draws for that? Because I want to
oh,
do an episode with like we did last year with
well,
Steve and Blake.
you'll see Dan this weekend, so you can annoy him
Yeah. Okay.
and annoy him with that. So, and I don't even think the full list of drivers is out yet. No, it's fully out. Um, so yeah, we can tell Blake and how shit he's gonna do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is full, yeah, yeah. We can give our boys a bit of a rev up. So,
Yep.
uh, yeah. All right. Uh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's finish this one up,
Cool.
and then we'll see you guys on the next week.
Yep. We'll see you next week.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Depends how much we like the people. Or four of them.
Four. It's still 7
Nah,
left.
I
Oh
know.
no, no, it's 5.